do this on YouTube, bro.
All right, good morning, everyone. We're going to wait just a couple of minutes before we get started. It looks like we're missing just a couple of people. We're just waiting for our prosecutor to get on. And then I'll go through the docket and we'll start putting everybody in breakout rooms with the prosecutor so you can start having whatever discussions you need to have. Okay, here we go. Looks like everybody's on. All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Judge Becker. Today is February 7th, 2023. This is our 9 a.m. Zoom docket. I'm just going to run through the docket and see who all is here, and then we'll start calling all of the cases individually. Gilbert Barrientos, I see you there. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am. Your Honor.
Norman Bernstein. Looks like we're still waiting on Ms. Sione. Alexandra Burdick. Mr. Neal, are you
here for Ms. Burdick.
Okay. And then Patricia Day.
Judge Josh Sagert here from Ms. Day.
All right, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Elias Hernandez.
Here.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Alyssa Hernandez.
Here. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes, Your Honor.
Jeffrey Hill. I believe that is the Barton Law Office. Good morning, Mr. Hurt. You're here on Daisha Feister, is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And then Mr. Neal, you're also here on Jason, is it Sipnowski?
Sipnowski, yes, ma'am.
All right, Nathan Olberg. Okay. Court cause 220923, State of Texas versus Gilbert Barrientos. Ms. Pearson and Mr. Barrientos, it looks like we had reset this case from last time because we were waiting to see whether there was going to be a companion case filed in county court. Where are we at on this case? Has one been filed?
I don't know one that's been filed yet. Mr. Barrientos, do you know? Have you received any notification?
I have not, other than this Zoom meeting.
This Zoom meeting or one with county court?
This is all I have. I haven't received anything in the mail to my address or any kind of.
Okay.
Okay. Do you guys want to talk privately in a breakout room about the case, or do you want to reset it again to see whether or not the companion case is filed? If I remember last time, you know, what you were going to do hinged on whether or not that was going to be filed.
Mr. Barrientos, what would you like to do? Do you want to reset it one more time and see if it comes forward, or do you want to resolve this today?
I would like to resolve it, but I mean, if I have to wait, I'd like to wait. I thought you were going to notify someone to see if.
I have,
possibly.
and I haven't gotten a response back.
Sometimes, Mr. Barrientos, it can take several months to know whether or not the case is going to be filed. An additional case will be filed up in county court because that goes through a separate process.
So how could I resolve it today then? I mean, I don't see it being resolved.
Well, you know, what I'll do is let me put you in a private breakout room with Ms. Pearson so that you can discuss that. And then you guys can come back in and let me know how you want to proceed, okay?
All right, thank you, ma'am.
All right, you're welcome. All right, you should be getting an invite. Mr. Neal, on your cases, do you need to go into a breakout room with Ms. Pearson to talk about those?
On Ms. Burdick, I do, Your Honor. On Mr. Sipnowski, I guess I should. We don't have discovery yet, and this is something she asked for. I know she emailed last time, but I got some of it, but not all of it. So I guess I should talk to her about that again.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. On Patricia Day, Mr. Sager, do you need to have a private conversation in a breakout room with the prosecutor?
Yes, I'd like to, Judge. There is a felony pending as well,
Okay.
out of this transaction, but I'd like to meet with her briefly.
Okay. All right, and looks like we do not have the Barton Law Office here on that. Mr. Hurt, do you also need to meet with Ms. Pearson privately in a breakout room?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so let me go back to Elias Hernandez. The court calls 221053, State of Texas versus Elias Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez, is this your first appearance on this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Would you like the opportunity to speak with the prosecutor privately to see whether or not you can negotiate a plea deal? You are not under any obligation to talk to her. Any conversation that you have, if she were to find out any additional information about the case that comes straight from you, she can't use that against you later on in court if you're unable to resolve the case and you decide that you want to go to trial. So your options for today are, if you already know that you want to plead guilty or no contest to the charge of public intoxication, the amount due would be $281. If you're not able to pay the $281 within 30 days, we can talk about some alternatives to payment, including a payment plan. Okay, so that's one option. If you already know you want to dispute the ticket and you want to set this case for pretrial and trial, we can go ahead and do that as well. Or if you'd like to talk with the prosecutor and see what kind of plea deal maybe you guys can come up with, such as a deferred disposition, which gives you a chance to have the case dismissed. If you want to have those kinds of conversations with Ms. Pearson, I can put you in a private breakout room with her in a few minutes so that you can have that conversation privately.
Yes,
So
please.
how would you like to proceed? Do you want to go ahead and set for trial? Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest, or would you like to talk with the prosecutor this morning?
I would like to please talk with the prosecutor, Your Honor, please.
Okay, no problem. We'll just put you in line for that. It's going to be a few minutes, but we'll get you in there as soon as we can.
Yes,
All right.
ma'am. Fine.
Court calls 221052, State of Texas versus Alyssa Hernandez. Ms. Hernandez, you heard me go over some of the information here with Mr. Hernandez. How would you like to proceed? Would you like a private conversation with Ms. Pearson? Do you already know you want to set for trial, or do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest? The amount of fine and court costs would be $281. How would you like to proceed?
I would also like to have a private conversation with the prosecutor, Your Honor, please.
All right, well, we've got everybody lined up. As soon as they are done, Ms. Pearson will let me know and we'll go ahead and pull everybody back over and get the next person in to talk with her.
It looks like Miss Sione's on now,
Okay, great. Good morning, Ms. Sione.
or someone out of her office.
You're here on Mr. Bernstein, is that correct?
Sorry, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to talk privately with Ms. Pearson this morning?
Probably briefly.
Okay. All right, then I'll put you in that room to do that here in just a few moments. It looks like everybody who's on would like to speak with Ms. Pearson this morning. Ms. Pearson, let me see. Let me get Mr.
Variantes.
Yes, let me get him back over here. All right, we'll wait for him to get back over here. He should be receiving that.
He might think you're going to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I sent him. There he goes. Perfect.
There he is.
All right. All right, Ms. Pearson, Mr. Variantes, do you have an announcement for the court?
I do.
Yeah.
I just got off the phone with the county attorney's office and they have received the case. They have not reviewed it. I asked her to please put it on the top of the stack for the investigator and the attorneys. She said she would, so I'm gonna request one more continuance on this to see what I hear from the county attorney's office.
Okay, Mr. Barrientos, are you in agreement with one more continuance to see whether or not that case is going to be filed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what I'm going to do is set you for early April to give them plenty of time to file the case. We can set it for Zoom again on April 4th. Mr. Barrientos, how does that sound?
That sounds good.
Okay. All right, so we're going to do April 4th because I'm just concerned if I set it for March, we may not have an answer yet, and I wouldn't want to have to reset again on this. That's why I'm moving a little farther out than we usually would. So what I'm going to do is set you for April 4th at 9 a.m. and we will send you that notice by email, Mr. Barrientos. Is there anything else on this particular case?
No, nothing.
All right, Mr. Barrientos, anything from you?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for being here this morning, sir. We will send you that notice by email.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. You may be excused. All right, Mr. Neal, I'm going to
Thank
go
you.
to you in a breakout room with Ms. Pearson.
Oh, I need.
All right. Ms. Pearson, when you normally come back over to the main session, do you get an invite to join over here?
No, I just leave the main room, leave
Okay.
the breakout room. I hit that blue button.
Okay.
And
Are you able to join in that room? Do you have a blue join button?
no, I have a red leave button. You want me to give it a go?
Yeah, and then I can probably at that point.
Okay. No, it just says leave meeting.
Okay. Let me see if it's going to let me do an additional breakout room. Nope, it's not going to. All right, I'm going to have to move.
Sometimes at the bottom on the bar,
Mhm.
there's a way to go to the breakout room.
Yeah, the screen is up. It's not letting me do an additional room for some
Okay.
reason. So what I'm going to do is I'm sorry, guys. Let me just close out the breakout rooms and let me just recreate several of them. There we go. Now it's letting me do it.
Oh, do y'all still have me on screen?
Yes.
Well, there we are. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to move you to room 2.
Okay.
Now that should work. All right, we're going to be in recess for just a few minutes while we wait for Ms. Pearson and Mr. Neal. Okay, Mr. Neal, Ms. Pearson, do you have an announcement on those cases?
Yes, on Jason Sibnewski, we are gonna ask for a reset on that because Mr. Neal has received the discovery, but he didn't receive the video. So he reached out to Yvonne and asked to resend that video so he can view that before we work anything out.
All right, for that one, March 7th at 9 a.m. Will that give additional time also by Zoom?
Checking. At 9 a.m.
Yes, or if you've got a conflict, we could also do 1:30.
I think 1:30 is better, Your Honor. I'm sorry, I have district court trial settings. I don't know if they'll go, but rather than try to be at two places at once,
Right.
I think
Yeah,
1:30.
Yeah, that's not a problem. We can do 1:30 on that day. And then obviously, if you are in trial, just let us know and we'll do a reset.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. So where are we at on Ms. Burdick?
Okay, I think that what we want to do, I need to check into a couple of things, but I think we want to go ahead and get a contested hearing setting.
Yes.
And we may be able to work something out prior to that, but we want to go ahead and get it set.
Okay. What about March 14th at, let's see, if it's contested, we should probably do a 1:30, or the mornings can get pretty busy. And what do you think about a 1:30 setting for contested that would be in person on March 14th? How does that work for the parties?
That works for me, Your Honor.
It works for me.
Okay, so we'll set that particular case for March 14th at 1:30. Anything else on those two cases? Those were the only ones, correct, Mr. Neal?
That's correct.
Okay, all right, well, thank you for being here, Mr. Neal.
Thank you. May I be excused?
Yes, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe it is Mr. Sagert. All right, Mr. Sagert, we're going to get you moved into that breakout room with Ms. Pearson.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. I know this takes a little bit of time. Ms. Pearson, you may receive a couple of invites. I'm going to have to move you around to a couple of rooms. For whatever reason, it doesn't remove you from a room whenever you come over, and that's why it's being a little bit goofy.
Okay.
I'm going to move you into room 1, and then as soon as you join, I'm going to move you back into room 2.
Okay.
All right, thanks. All right, everyone. That's just one case that will probably be pretty quick, the conversation that they need to have. So we're going to again be in a real brief recess until everybody comes back over into the main session. Okay, while we're waiting for them to go ahead and finish up their conversation, I'm going to go ahead and call. Okay. 211073 and 220945, State of Texas versus Nathan Olbrich. Good morning, Mr. Olbrich.
Morning, sorry.
No, that's okay. So with regard to your cases, it looks like you had appeared back last April or sometime last spring when you had appeared and you had requested a driver safety course and you were going to work on getting your insurance. But we never heard anything back, and now it's been several months later. At this point, your options are to either plead to the cases or to set them for trial. And I saw your plea form where you've requested a jury trial. So with regard to the speeding case, the alleged violation was going 71 in a 55. If you were to plead guilty or no contest on those cases, the total due would be $390. With regard to the failure to maintain financial responsibility, if you were to plead guilty or no contest, the amount due would be $381. Or, of course, you can go ahead and go forward with a jury trial. How would you like to proceed today?
So if I were to do no contest, would there still be a way to keep it off my record?
No, not with the
There
no
wouldn't be.
contest plea. It's the no contest simply means you're not going to contest the ticket, but it does go in as a conviction. It would go in as a conviction for speeding and also a conviction for failure to maintain financial responsibility. Do you want to go
Okay, I
ahead
could
and
just,
the trial?
yeah, I can just, yeah, I'll just do the trial. That's fine.
Okay. In proceeding to trial on these cases, rather than the window fine of $106, if you were to be convicted, a jury can consider a fine of up to $200 on that particular case. So if you were to be convicted, there is also fees for the jury coming in and possibly fees for the officer if he has to testify whenever he's off duty. So from a cost perspective, only if you are convicted, your costs may go up somewhat on those two cases. With regard to the jury trial setting, I'm going to set you for a pretrial conference in case you have any pretrial motions, and then also go ahead and set you for the jury trial. Let's see, for pretrial, this would be in person here in Fredericksburg. The setting would be for March 14th at 1:30. And Mr. Olbrich, we will email and mail you a copy of my standing order, which gives you all the different procedures about different deadlines for filing motions, that type of thing. And then that would be pretrial conference would be March 14th at 1:30 on both of your cases. And then your jury trial would be set for April 25th at 8 a.m.
Okay.
And we're going to send you all of this information.
Okay.
Okay. Looks like we had some mail returned that we had tried to send you. Ms. Hogue, can you please check to see if his address and contact information is correct on his latest plea form?
Okay, let me check it.
Just to make sure that we have the updated information.
15840 Shaner Drive, Haslett, Texas.
And then there's an apartment number too. That's probably why.
Ah, okay. I don't have that on this form. May I have it?
It's 5214.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. So Mr. Olbrich, we'll get that information out to you on what the trial procedures and pretrial procedures are, and then also a notice of the two dates coming up, which is March 14th at 1:30 and your jury trial on April 25th at 8 a.m.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir, for being here. All right, Ms. Pearson, and Mr. Sager, do we have an announcement with regard to this case? I believe we had reset it because there may have been a felony pending.
Still pending.
Okay.
This occurred in December, and so of course there's still nothing yet. I'd like to give it 90 days.
Okay.
And then I have suggested that if it still isn't indicted by then, to just file a motion for a continuance
Okay.
on this.
All right. Why don't we set it out then for, we'll do it by Zoom again, it's a lot more convenient, I think, for the parties. If everybody's okay with that, we can do May 2nd at 9 a.m. also by Zoom. Will that work for the parties?
It works for me.
Looks good. Looks good to me, Judge.
Okay, great. So we're gonna do May 2nd at 9 a.m. By Zoom again.
All right. Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
You can. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Pearson, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with Mr. Hurt.
Great. Thanks.
Move right on down the line here. All right, thank you everyone for your patience. We're moving you through just as quick as we can. Okay, Ms. Pearson, Mr. Hurt, do you have an announcement on your case?
Yes, we do. We're going to go ahead and set this for a contested motion. I'd like to set it on the same day as another defendant on March 14th at 1:30.
Okay, does that day work for you, Mr. Hurt?
It does, Judge. And then we also talked about doing the April 25th jury trial setting.
Okay.
And then obviously, if we resolve it before then,
Mhm.
we'll work diligently towards that.
Okay, I've got both of those dates on here. Mr. Hurt, what I generally do is start all jury trials at 8 a.m. so we can figure out which case is going to go. You know, Ms. Pearson can choose whichever case goes. And then we pick the jury. And if we end up having two cases, we'll just do one in the morning and one in the afternoon.
Okay, that's fine. I'll block off the whole day then.
Okay. All right, anything else on this particular case?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hurt, for being here.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
All right, you too. Okay, let's see, Ms. Pearson, I'm gonna go ahead and I believe.
Oh, there's Miss Sione.
I'm sorry?
There's Miss Sione, and that will take us like 2 seconds.
Okay, all right, let me go ahead and we'll get you.
I'm here. I'm just in the conference room negotiating it.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, let me get you into room 2.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay. Ms. Hernandez and Mr. Hernandez, did you want to go into the breakout room at the same time as Ms. Pearson, or would you rather talk to her individually?
If it makes it easier for y'all, we can do it at the same time.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. It's up to you guys. Sometimes, you know, when different people may have been together on the same date and had an alleged charge, sometimes they want to go in there and just talk to her. But that's not always the case, and they would rather go in individually. My time is your time, so that's what I'm here for. If you guys want to meet with her individually, you can certainly do so.
Okay, yeah, we can do that, Your Honor, please,
Okay.
individually.
Okay, all right.
I agree. I'm sure we're gonna have a similar conversation, so that works perfectly, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, all right, you're welcome. We'll do that then. So as soon as she's done, Ms. Hernandez, I'll put you in there as soon as she gets done. It sounds like that one's going to be pretty quick.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
I think if we just say that's it.
Okay, do we have an announcement on this case?
Yes, we do. I'd like to set this 90 days down the road. I'm actually offering a pretrial diversion on this case. And so I think just set it 90 days down the road and we'll check the criminal history beforehand. And then if we can dismiss, the 90 days, then we can let Miss Sione know at that time.
Okay, so why don't we set it for Zoom on May 2nd? Is that sufficient time? Yeah, I think that's down the road. And then Ms. Pearson, before court, if you want to request the criminal history, we'll have our Officer Castaneda run that. So you know in advance and you can let Ms. Sione know.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, so in the interim, we'll set it for Zoom for May 2nd at 9 a.m. Does that date work for you, Ms. Sione?
I have a trial that starts at 10, but as long as we're done by 10, that should be perfect.
Okay, yes. And if something were to come up and for some reason the pretrial diversion falls through, and we can always change it to May 9th later on down the road. If you have a conflict in your schedule, Ms. Sione.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Thank you for being here. Have a good day.
You too. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Ms. Hernandez, I'm going to go ahead and put you in a breakout room with Ms. Pearson. Okay, there we go. Almost to you, Mr. Hernandez. All right, we'll be in a brief recess again, pending their announcement.
All right, that sounds good, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, Ms. Pearson and Ms. Hernandez, do we have an announcement on this case?
We do, and in exchange for a plea of either no contest or guilty, I am recommending the standard 90-day deferral with the 4-hour drug and alcohol class online. No new offenses, fine and court cost. I am not sure if she has $150 credit due.
She does.
Okay. So I let her know that if she does have that, that will be taken off of her fine and court cost amount.
It would be, the fine and court costs in this case would be $281. Ms. Hernandez, is that your understanding of the plea offer?
Yes, it is, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. In entering a no contest plea, you are waiving your right to consult with an attorney. You're waiving your right to a trial, whether that is a jury trial or a bench trial, and you're also waiving your right to remain silent. Knowing those 3 rights, do you wish to waive them and enter a plea of no contest?
We also discussed later on if I want to remove the evidence of arrest off of my record, I could have an attorney do that for me.
Yes.
Does
yes.
that
Yes, that could. So
contradict
basically,
that, or?
Yes, by entering the no contest plea, we would be entering a deferred disposition. So as long as you do your 4-hour class within the specific time frame, you don't receive any new offenses, and you pay the $281 at the end of the 90 days, I do dismiss your case, and you'll receive a dismissal in the mail. But as far as an expunction later on down the line, you would have to consult with an attorney. If you would rather consult with an attorney prior to this plea, just to make sure you understand how the expunction process works and that it would apply to you, we can certainly reset this and give you a chance to consult with an attorney if you want to.
Okay, and I was told with a charge this minor, I couldn't be I couldn't be appointed a state attorney.
Correct, because it's a fine only offense. There's no jail time as a part of the range of punishment.
So I would have to obtain my own attorney.
Yes, you would have to hire an attorney for the purposes of the case.
Okay, but either way, it would be the same process, just reverse.
It would be. That attorney could just advise you as far as how the expunction process works, and then whether or not you're eligible for it.
Okay.
How old are you, Ms. Hernandez?
I'm 21.
Okay, so you're at the, yeah. Generally, yeah, because you're an adult and you're already at the age of 21, it's a form that you would file requesting the expunction. And generally that's most of the time that's filed up in district court. And then,
do you think I have a good chance of being eligible for that?
Well, unfortunately, I can't give you any advice on eligibility for it. I know generally Ms. Pearson does not object to expunctions. Is that right, Ms. Pearson?
That's correct.
Particularly in this kind of case, there would not be an objection to the expunction.
Okay, then I will go ahead and move forward with pleading no contest, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to accept your plea and find that you've made a knowing and voluntary waiver of your rights. I'm also going to accept the plea disposition that you've reached with the state, which is that there is a 90-day deferred. During that period of time, there are to be no new offenses. Your alcohol education class needs to be completed within 60 days. And what we do for that is we have your email address. I will register you for that course. And within the order, I'm going to provide the website that you're going to use in order to complete the course. I'll register you for it. And then you'll also receive an email from ISAE, who has the online course. So you're not going to have to attend in person. It will be online. And you just need
Thank
to
you, Your
complete
Honor.
it in the 60 days. And I believe the cost for the course, I believe it's $50 for the course.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. I'll put all of this in an order, and we'll email it to you and also mail it Are you able to pay the 281 within 30 days or do you need some additional time?
I can make that work in 30 days, Your Honor. That would be before the jail credit is subtracted. Is that correct?
No, it's already subtracted. It would have been, I believe it would have been what, 381, and with the jail credit, it is 281. So I've already reduced your fine and court costs.
It actually would have been 431 because
Or thank you, 431.
the fine is 350 and court costs are 81.
Do you have any further questions about your case?
I do not. Thank you so much for your time, Your Honor.
Oh, you bet. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, let me get you into a breakout room with Ms. Pearson so that you can talk privately about your case.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. And Ms. Hernandez, you may be excused unless you want to hang around and wait to see what happens with Mr. Hernandez. It's up to you.
If that's okay, I will.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, we'll be in a short recess and we'll be back as soon as they've had the opportunity to talk. Okay, Ms. Pearson, do we have an announcement on this case?
We do. In exchange for a plea of no contest, I'm offering the standard deferral of 90 days with the 4-hour online drug and alcohol class, no new offenses, fine, and cost.
Okay. Mr. Hernandez, is that your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Would you be able to pay the 281? I've already given you the credit for the $150. Would you be able to pay the 281 within 30 days?
Yes, Your Honor. Would I pay that in person, or is there any way I can pay that just with
Oh,
debit card?
you can do it by phone. You can do it online. You can mail it in by check. So you will have some different options.
Okay.
Yes. In entering a no contest plea, you are waiving your right to consult with an attorney. You're waiving your right to a trial, whether that is a bench trial or a jury trial. And you're also waiving your right to remain silent. Knowing those 3 rights, do you wish to waive them and go forward with your no contest plea in exchange for that 90-day deferred?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to find that you made a knowing and voluntary waiver of your rights. I'm going to enter an order that any conviction is going to be deferred for a period of 90 days. During the 90 days, within the first 30 days, you'll pay your $281. Your alcohol class will be, you need to take within 60 days. And just as I told Ms. Hernandez, I do register you for that course. It is online. And then within the order that I'm going to send out, it also gives you all of the contact information so that you can follow up with ISAE, who's the online provider for this particular course. There is a cost for the course. I believe it's $50 for that course. And then just no new offenses during this period of time. And at the end of the 90 days, I run your criminal history. I check to make sure you've done everything. And as long as you have, I go ahead and sign up on the dismissal, and then we email and mail that to you. So you have the order showing that it was dismissed.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions about what we've just gone through?
The drug and alcohol class, is there like a certificate I have to like mail into to y'all or something?
There is, at the end of the course, you'll be able to print that out. We also double check with the provider, but it is ultimately on you as far as turning in that certificate here so we know you've successfully completed it.
Okay. And will I get like an email or something like that with the information, like where I'm supposed to pay the fine and all that?
Yes, yeah, I'm going to write all of this down in an order for you. And at the end of the order, it's going to have all of your various pay options at the bottom of it. So you have that information.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're very welcome. Any other questions or concerns with regard to your case? You're good?
I'm okay.
Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate it, to take care of your cases, and I'll get that order out to you by email and by mail.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may be excused.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Ms. Pearson, I believe that covers everyone. Oh, you know, the only one that did not appear is Jeffrey Hill from the Barton Law Office. Have you had contact with them? Did they?
I have.
I figured you might have.
Yeah, we have talked back and forth. I'm a little surprised she's not here. She's always up front and here.
Yeah.
I will reach out to her and let her know that she missed it today.
Okay. And then if you can just give me a status, whether we need to set it for March, or if we're going to go ahead and move on to a pre-trial.
Okay.
And trial. That way we can get that set.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is, just in case, I'm going to set it for, because she's always been here for these. So I'm going to go ahead and set it for another Zoom just in case, so it doesn't fall through the cracks.
Okay.
And we will send her notice.
Perfect.
She's always been here ready to go on it. Rather than setting it for a pre-trial, we're going to do another Zoom for the 7th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
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 Other than that, I think, as you know, on the Schwartz case, they had a conflict, and they either had to be, in court on a felony, or it may have been a federal case, but I did continue that until April 4th.
Okay.
They did show that they, that they are in fact in court.
Okay.